Ban NBA podcast now. Or at least that's the video that we're reacting to. For all that don't know, there's many NBA players out there with podcasts. Actually, not even just NBA players. There's so many people out there with podcasts. You got NFL players, influencers, OF girls. Like, there's so many podcasts out there. There's a huge podcast boom in like 2020, 2021. And ever since then, like, so many people have created them. And people have been just riding this wave. But NBA podcasts, you know, they're pretty crazy, I will say, especially Michael Porter Jr. Like, when he's on a podcast, that man says some of the craziest things. He's very unfiltered.
And I'll tell you who is an idiot is the head coach of the women's South Carolina team.
If you consider yourself a woman and you want to play sports or vice versa, you should be able to play.
That means if I transition to a woman right now, then I can go play in the WNBA and average 50.
But in today's video, I thought, why not check out this video? Once again, Ban NBA Podcast Now by Jeff. We've never reacted to one of Jeff's videos before, but I just saw this video in my recommended. It looked interesting, and I was like, you know what? Let me check it out. I feel like Jeff is probably a funny guy. I mean, his name is Jeff with one F. He's got to be a funny guy. So let's check it out, guys.
This is NBA Podcasting.
But if Kyrie goes to Houston, oh my God.
Houston's going to have to give back one of their pieces, though.
Would I give up Sengun? I don't know if I say no way.
Every player with a mic thinks they're one viral clip away from greatness, and quite honestly, they're mostly unwatchable. But somehow we went from retired players telling stories to X's and O's analysis to active players podcasting. Now Duncan Robinson's podcasting. The Morris twins are podcasting.
Oh my
Anybody
gosh.
who says the basketball. Anybody who's played JV. Anybody who's got a green shirt. Today we're going to look at how NBA podcasting has gone from this to this. So NBA podcasting on YouTube was first made famous by the knuckleheads, all right? Darius Miles and Quentin Richardson. They hosted Jimmy Butler on an episode here on February 21st, 2019.
Jeez,
and this blew
that's
up.
way
If you
back,
haven't heard their
before COVID, man. Oh, man, they were early. Them boys were early. COVID, man, oh my gosh. My bad for pausing so early, but 2019, I remember I was in high school. I think I was like junior year, or maybe like 10th grade going into junior year, something like that. Yeah, COVID hit my junior year. Man, that was a long time ago, dude. Now it's 2027. Bro, I feel old as shit. I feel like dust, man. But, hey, man, we're living.
podcast, you may know them from their infamous opener, Who's the first player to bust your ass? Q Rich and D Miles both played a lot of years in the NBA, so they're basically leveraging stories from NBA players they knew, whether they played against them in high school, in college, in the NBA, or they played with them. It's a great podcast with a lot of great stories, all right? Even the legend himself, Kobe Bean Bryant,
shout out
on
Kobe,
this
man.
podcast
R.I.P.
right here. Fast forward 6 months, we get the first episode of the All the Smoke podcast with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. This podcast is similar, but I'd argue to say it's more authentic. Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson were trying to fit.
Man, if I would have kept hooping, I would have made it to the NBA. Like, no cap. And I think after I retired, I would for sure. Actually, nah, during my seasons and stuff, I would definitely have like an NBA podcast, you know, have a few people on, hit up some of the streamers. I definitely have a podcast, but yeah, nah, I was like a D1 prospect, you know, before like COVID hit. Then COVID hit and like my season was done, you know. Let's just continue watching the video.
To mainstream sports media at ESPN and Fox, but it just didn't quite really work out for them. They did an episode with Kobe as well because Matt Barnes tried to throw a ball at Kobe's head. They ended up being teammates. Him and Steven Jackson were in the same high school class. They played in the same McDonald's All-American game. Kobe himself even thought Steven Jackson won MVP of that game.
Hey, I thought you did win MVP.
No, I didn't.
So he loves the fact that you thought he should have.
But he said that. That's all I wanted to hear.
And from who was the first person to bust your ass to smoking it up on All the Smoke, they had so many players telling stories, especially about Kobe. And it went
I think that's
like
the coolest
this.
thing about
Before the
podcasts,
game,
man.
He had sex with my wife.
Wait, what? Huh? Wait, what? Wait, what? Yo, that caught me off guard.
This is how I know he's a mind game. He plays mind games. He didn't wash his hands. And in the game, while he was guarding me, he put his fingers up to my nose, and I knew that was my wife.
Nah, that's real, bro. That's
30
real.
years? Gone too soon, man.
Gone too soon, man.
My kid don't went missing for like a week. Man, Kobe, man. I remember I was guarding Kobe and he just reached for something in his pocket. And it was a picture of my son tied up.
Bro, what the fuck?
Then we have the JJ Redick podcast. podcast, which actually started before All the Smoke and the Knucklehead, started on Wednesday, November 29th in 2017 while he was still in the Sixers. And he podcasted under the Ringer, all right? And the first episode that really took off his podcasting career was his episode, once again, with Jimmy Butler. This was on March 11th, 2020.
Shout out
so
Jimmy
right
Buckets,
around COVID
man.
time. And so the big three of NBA podcasting was formed, all right? Knuckleheads, All the Smoke, JJ Redick podcast, and this inspired many podcasts that further came onto the platform. More people invested in podcast equipment, asking their NBA friends to come and tell stories, talk about how great they were. And then
I think I will say the coolest thing about podcasts is like you can see into the minds of these people that like years ago we wouldn't really like hear from them. Like you'd get like occasional NBA interviews and stuff, but now it's like you'll see an NBA like a what's it called, an NBA player doing like on a podcast telling like some of the funniest stories, saying that like, oh yeah, I was playing this game last week. It's like, dang, like sometimes you I don't know, it just makes them feel more human, if that makes sense.
these guys, Club 520. Now,
Oh, yeah,
at
this is a
first,
funny
this was
podcast.
just like
Shout out
any
Jeff
other
Teague.
podcast. You had an NBA player and then one or two of his homies being co-hosts, but this podcast is special. First, we have Jeff Teague, former All-Star guard, NBA champion who talks like he was a bench warmer. Then there's the host, DJ Wells, who met Jeff Teague in high school. He's experienced with digital marketing and a demonstrated history of working in the media. All right, that's who DJ Wells is. Then there's B-Head, who became friends with Jeff Teague later on in his life. After heckling Jeff Teague, they actually went to rival high schools. And so they came together in
that's
Jeff
funny.
Teague's basement, purchased some podcast equipment, and they became the best NBA podcast.
Okay, I'm sorry I have to like point this out. Dude, I have that same avocado oil. Like, bro, I just keep on seeing that. I need to get some when I go to the store, man. I'm super hungry, if y'all couldn't tell right now. I'm so hungry. I'm about to make some burgers after this.
Of all time. There's a couple of reasons for this, all right? One is Jeff Teague, the main subject, the NBA player. He tells
NBA
whatever
legend.
stories he wants. He doesn't really care if he gets heat for any of these stories. This is from episode 1 of the podcast. On January 31st, 2023, when they had Josh Smith on the show. Listen to how he tells a story.
We playing the Celtics. I'm having a cool game. Kurt had just came to the team.
Yeah.
And Smooth was like, throw it back sometimes. Like, throw it back. Like, when you driving down the lane, they staying with you, throw it back. I'm like, yeah, I ain't throw it back like 2 times. So nigga was like, hey, motherfucker, they staying with you, throw the ball back. And so I'm kind of ignoring him. He was like, hey, LD, put Kurt in, man. This nigga tripping. I get mad as hell. You know what we talking about? I get so mad, I'm like crying. Yeah. And he looking at me, I'm like, you got me. Yeah. And he like, they looking at me like, man, get the fuck out of here. Like that. So I get a steal and I dunk on Ray Allen.
Oh!
And I yell at him. The only
Wait, hold up. Wait. Yo! Dude, I'm glad I'm watching this video. This is making me remember things that like I've seen before, but it's just like seeing them again. Jeez. That boy, head top. Yammed on him. Oh my gosh.
Tommy is Smooth. He smacked me on the back. He like, yeah, nigga. I'm like, that's my nigga, man.
And as a fan of 520 podcast, my favorite episode was episode 5, Flare Jeans featuring PJ Tucker. This was a story right here that made this podcast go viral.
Me and P got cool from Ciroc and NBA All-Star. I'm just gonna leave it there. Yeah. So I know this nigga, but I'm on the Pacers now with Lance. And Lance shoots a last second
Lance
shot. And
Stevenson.
he hits the layup. I'm like,
Man will give the coldest 4 points in the game. He'll hit a sham god, hezzy, break your ankles, spin move, go for a layup, gets the ball again, does that same thing, and then gets subbed out. Man, NBA legend.
damn, I know what this is about to come with. DeMar and PJ beeline to Lance. Oh, Lance is on my team, so I'm like, whoa, y'all gotta chill. So I'm like, yo, y'all chill. DeMar like, nah, he got me fucked up, T. PJ said, move, little nigga. I said, damn. We just had Ciroc together. What is he on?
He even tells a story about him crossing his own brother up, Marquise, who made the league as well.
Oh, and I caught him.
He just lame.
He get in the game, I'm hyped. And I wasn't going hard at first. And Coach Bud like, you playing soft right now. You ain't going at your brother. He's like, we need to win this game. We trying to make the playoffs. I'm like, yeah, you right. Man, I get on a fast break. I see in his eyes. I'm like, oh, it's me and him. Then I gave him the big right to left, and he fell. Oh, my Lord. I missed the layup, right?
Nah, that has to
I'm
feel
hot.
good.
I missed the layup. I look at the bench, Joe Johnson like this. Bro,
Family gatherings got to be different after that. But it's so crazy because, like, bro, I would have done that same thing. Like, crazy enough, like, y'all haven't seen y'all might have. I have one basketball video on my main channel, but, like, bro, if I was going to the basket, I'm hitting that cross. They're dropping down on the ground right there, bro. I'm telling you.
Man, hold on, because Jeff don't know. We went in the locker room. Paul Pierce laughed at me
for an hour straight.
Paul Pierce even called them the ugliest brothers in the league.
Paul Pierce trying to check in.
Nah, that's hilarious.
Jeff Teague is so unserious, he doesn't even care about real Teague! You've never seen this before. You don't know the origins of this meme. This is a crazy phone. But this all started on Jeff Teague's nephew's live stream where they read a live super chat.
He's like on the T jersey, no draws.
That better be a hoe. What's her name?
That was a him.
And lo and behold, this started a trend, alright? The Atlanta Hawks posted it. The Atlanta Falcons hopped on the wagon. Even the Boston Celtics on TikTok. Teague time. People even started doing it on 2K. Catching up with Jeff Teague at the park. And this started a Halloween trend, alright? People wearing their jerseys with no draws. Even I'm Teague timing right now. Even at a fan meetup.
Bro, I'm Teague timing right now, bro. I cannot lie. I cannot lie, bro. I can't go too far. You know what I'm saying? Might show the meat. No, I'm playing. I just have some super short shorts on, bro. No, they kind of look like booty. They're not booty shorts, though. I promise you they're not booty shorts. They're mad short, though, gang. I can't lie. I want to be comfy while watching this, bruh.
You got a Teague time. Look at him. He's hugging. Jeff doesn't even care.
With him. Because he was like, bro, my bad, bro. I'm like, you good, bro. He was like, I can pull my shorts down. I was like, bro, just take a picture.
What he said? He's laughing and joking about it. That's what fans like the most about Teague, and that's what fans like most about this podcast. It's relatable and it's hilarious. This is Jeff Teague and Jordan Crawford talking about getting locked up by Avery Bradley.
He picked me up full court one time.
I passed that bitch.
I went the whole time. I'm like, I got it. I made it to half finally after getting spent like 10 times. Got to half. I said, everybody clear out. This is the NBA. I was with the Wizards do Boston. So everybody clear out. I went at him. I'm tired as hell at this point. Shot that bitch shit all glass.
He was picking me up full court. It was guarding me so hard one time. They called a timeout in Boston playoffs. I couldn't even hear the timeout. Nigga, I was still trying to get by the nigga. He controller, bro. There. Yeah. That nigga Larry Jordan, of course,
He's also somehow everywhere. All right, when Jimmy Butler left the Timberwolves, he was there. Embiid fought Cat. He was in the middle of it. Giannis gets mad in the huddle. Jeff Teague right next to him. Klay Thompson most points in a quarter. Jeff Teague was in the game. Cousins getting bumped by Cat. D-Rose 50-point game. He's literally everywhere. This guy's like the Forrest Gump of the NBA. This podcast is unique because they can stay on brand. They don't have to make jokes or censor themselves in any sort of way.
Yeah, people trying to win some bread. What you got for them?
Today only. PJ Tucker, 5 threes, $1,000 win you $3 million today.
But DraftKings is still there, and most recently they got an Adidas shoe deal.
Let's go,
man. I just want to highlight my favorite.
I love to
podcast.
see that, man.
Even Adidas is going Teague time. But while Jeff Teague was in his basement cracking jokes and telling stories, JJ Redick was doing something.
It's good that him and his homies, bro. I think that's what makes it feel like so natural. Because some podcasts, they feel so scripted and just like, and I'm not going to say any off the top of my head. There's one that I'm thinking of, but I don't want to say it. So many podcasts, they just feel scripted. They feel unnatural. But this one is just him and his homies talking, cracking jokes. That's what I love about it, dude. It's such a great podcast. Like, not even just like a good NBA podcast. It's just a good podcast overall.
Completely different. Now, earlier I mentioned JJ Redick was under the ringer with Bill Simmons. He then moved to his own platform called The Old Man and the Three. All right, and this podcast started taking off. He started interviewing more superstars from the 2010s, all right, the 2020s, you know, instead of the 2000s like all the smoke and knuckleheads were doing. But he also discussed a lot more about X's and O's and plays and schemes and why teams didn't work, which was something critical because this NBA media market, this was very occupied by a lot of drama, a lot of storytelling, but nobody was really teaching the game, all right? And JJ Redick realized that through his time at First Take on ESPN, literally arguing.
And that's one thing, if you ever want to create content, always look at like what's, like take something and just be like, okay, how can I make this better? Since people weren't talking about like the ins and out of the game, it was more like drama based, and he saw that and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it this way. Like, bro, that's a recipe for success with content. Oh my gosh. I know this is like, there's many off-topic points in this video, but like, dude, I love talking, man.
With Stephen A and Mad Dog. He wanted to talk more about Thumb Down. and floppy. And if you're a casual NBA fan, you're probably pretty bored about this, but if you were the right people that were listening, like LeBron James, you get a podcast on X's and O's called Behind the Game. Now, off the
Never
bat,
know
a lot
who's
of
watching,
people are
bro.
accusing JJ Redick of trying to interview for the Lakers job. You know, the GM strikes again. He's holding his job interview. And those people are absolutely right. Because it's the greatest story in NBA media history, alright? JJ Redick gets hired as the LA Lakers head coach, the greatest job in basketball. And most importantly, he had zero coaching experience. He did not coach a single minute in college. He did not coach a single minute in the NBA. This is his first gig. And obviously this came with a lot of controversy, a lot of backlash, but an NBA podcaster became the head coach of the LA Lakers, the biggest basketball franchise in the world, and they're second in the West. But the problem was, JJ Redick is kind of a clear exception. He's well-spoken, he's entertaining, he's smart, he's good looking, but also he stopped playing the game, all right? He could talk freely about strategy, he could talk freely about what they ran, his experience being in the league. But for players that are still actually playing the game, podcasting was not a good idea. And I think at the start, the idea was simple, all right? We're tired of traditional NBA media. I'm tired of the media criticizing me. I'm gonna talk about myself, tell my own story, all right? But the problem is they forgot that they needed to podcast even if they lost. Go back to 2023, May 12th, Warriors lose in 6 to the Lakers.
That's the worst part about it. If you're an NBA podcaster and you have a bad game, everybody's just gonna be like, yo, why are you podcasting, bro? Get in the gym, get in the lab. What are you doing, dog?
Draymond picks up the mic right away.
Back to the Draymond Green show. This is actually our first episode that we've ever done after a series loss.
2022 Western Conference semifinals against the Grizzlies. They win in game 1, but Draymond gets ejected. But he's got to put up another podcast. He's got to explain himself. Game 2, they lose against the Grizzlies. Draymond's back on the pod.
I'm crying.
He was podcasting when the Warriors were winning too, so he's at least he's consistent. But then there's Podcast P. When PG's playing well, he puts up a new episode. When PG's not playing well, he takes a break.
This season is up to this point, man. It hasn't been what we envisioned. I know my goal when I first signed with Philadelphia was to bring a championship to these amazing fans here. I still remain positive about that, and that is still the case and where I'm coming from. With that being said, though, I want to let the Podcast P family know that after today's episode with Dwight, I plan to take a break from the pod just to focus on getting my body right, getting mentally right, and, you know, help this squad make a push towards our goal to finish the season out, give ourselves a chance to be in contentions to compete for a championship.
The Sixers were 20-38 when he took this break.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what championship he's thinking of, and Draymond Green was disappointed by this. See, you can't stop your podcast while your team is losing. You gotta keep talking. You gotta keep serving the fans. But I can't put P in my top 3 no more, because as someone who went through a podcast and won a championship and took a beating for it all year, you can't quit, P. When times get tough, you can't gracefully bow out, P. You gotta keep pushing through the rough times, because this is what we do. We podcast too. You can't take a break when things get rough like that. So at this moment in time, we have active players distracting themselves with podcasts, and then we have former role players acting like they're GMs.
Kyrie goes to Houston. Oh my God.
Houston's gonna have to give back one of their pieces, though.
Bye, amen.
Did you give up Sengun?
Did I just see a matcha on the table? I could have sworn I just seen a matcha on the table. Bro, matcha tastes like grass. I don't know why people drink like I know it's a whole trend and everything to drink matcha. Matcha does not taste good, bro. Like that government mandated ass drink, matcha is ass. I'm telling you it tastes like grass. But for some reason, people just keep on drinking it, bro. Maybe I just had bad matcha. I think I've only had matcha from Smoothie King. Yeah, no, I don't like matcha, man. I might try it again one day, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Saw this one girl post matcha on her story one time, and I'm like, okay, let me try a matcha. This was like 3 years ago. Dude, I tried this matcha. That shit was ass. Like, bro, when I tell you that was one of the worst drinks I ever had, and I'm an avid water drinker. I love drinking water, but sometimes you got to switch it up. Wanted me a matcha. That drink was terrible, bro. Never again.
Ain't no way. For Kyrie coming off of ACL?
No way?
I got to think about it, D-Lo. I got to think about it.
I don't know if I can say no way that fast.
I don't know if I say no way.
Tried to take it back afterwards, but this dude's podcast mic should be taken away. And this is where the line gets crossed, right? It's not just the fact that these podcasts are bad. It's the fact that there are role players that are talking like they were the great. This is Rashard McCants, all right? He is on the Out the Mud podcast with Tony Allen and Zach Randolph, and he had this to say.
I got 15 in the first. That was easy. I can get 81.
Bro.
What 81 you talking about?
What?
Kobe's 81.
Boy, it's out the mud. We got Rashad McCown.
Yo, get this dude, bro. Drug check him. Drug test him. ASAP.
He's also a man on Gil's Arena. This is what he had to say there.
Overseas basketball. Who did you play for?
I play for a lot of teams.
No, what's your name one?
Lebanon.
Does that say Gooner? Oh, bro, I thought his t-shirt said Gooners. That says greatness. Okay, yeah. Bro, I was about to say, what type of merch is this, gang? Yo, you got a Gooner merch on the pod?
What was the name of your team?
Commitment.
Commitment. Do y'all team can beat the Denver Nuggets?
We have a chance.
Do you can now get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out of here.
Let's
Pure delusion, bro. Drug test
Let's
him.
move on, man. You can't.
I'm not gonna let my team lose by 200.
We're talking.
This dude might just be rage baiting, might just be generating clicks. If that's the case, kudos to him. But if he truly believes these takes, man, I don't even know what to say. We even have players starting podcast wars, all right? Battling it out on Spotify. Trae Young and Pat Bev got into it after Pat Bev said something about Trae Young on the Pat Bev podcast.
Hoop Herald goes, honest question. Why do NBA players play so hard in random open gyms in the summer but give no effort in the All-Star game? My response is because All-Stars take the game for granted. It's not one All-Star on a basketball court. It's just good naturally, good bump. Trae Young's response was,
he said, relax, let us speak for ourselves. Interesting.
I don't know. I don't think he's in a position to speak. I don't think he's one enough to even speak to me like that or tweet me. He's been to the playoffs 3 times. I've been to the playoffs 9.
9 is more than 3.
He's been in the NBA 7 years. My first 7 years, I didn't miss the playoffs at all.
Interesting.
In the Western Conference.
Interesting.
Right? His rebuttal is probably going to be, yeah, you want the main player on the team. You're absolutely right, but this is why it's a team.
This is what Trae Young said in return.
You've been to 1 conference finals. I've been to 1 conference finals. What year was that for you? Just another fact, year 9. The year I made it was year 3. Just a fact. You want to know another one? You averaged 7 points and 2 is... I don't even know how I'm doing this.
Like, this is so stupid. And then we have guys like MPJ. The
Oh my
Nets
gosh.
literally informed him to basically shut up.
Even like the organization, like they would appreciate if I stayed clear of certain topics.
And here's why. All right, here we have MPJ with adult star Lana Rhodes. Don't know who that is.
I've seen
All
this
right.
clip.
No idea. And this was the clip that went viral from that podcast.
Imagine like you just meet someone in the lobby and like you're not attracted to them at all, and it's like, okay, now you have to fuck them and pretend that you like it.
No, that's definitely
It's
tough.
awful.
Bro, that dude was not listening, bro. That dude is not listening, bro. Nah, that's definitely tough. Anyways.
And after his brother Jonte Porter got banned from the league for gambling on his own game, MPJ had this to say on his own podcast, Curious Money.
My advice has always come in the form of women. That seems to be the place that the devil gets me, is in the space of women. And I feel like God kind of gives you what you're prepared to handle. My brother, Jonte, he never seemed to struggle with that vice, you know? I never struggled with the gambling addiction.
Basically said his brother don't get hoes. Alright, basically just absolutely outs his brother. He needs the mic taken away from him too. We're drowning in content. We got active players trying to control the narrative, old heads trying to tell stories, and we have role players saying things that should get them drug tested. This is why NBA podcasting has gotten out of hand. I think there needs to be a price minimum on podcast equipment, but at the same time, who am I? Who cares? I have no say in this at all, so I don't really know why I kind of made this video, I guess. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys...
Nah, that video was hilarious. This dude is funny. I really like that video from Jeff. We might have to check out some more of his videos, but I think it was hilarious. I feel like I said everything I needed to say throughout the video. Once again, like, great video from Jeff. That was hilarious. If y'all enjoyed that video, I say definitely go to his channel, give it a like, give it a view. If you enjoyed this video, highly recommend you check out my most recent video. It'll be right up here on the screen. Boom! Yeah, with all that being said, it's gonna wrap up the video. Thank you guys for watching. It's Cameron, and I am out.